Rumors are growing with the team looking to sell their charters, and the NASCAR charter agreement situation keeps getting updated. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome to Above the Yellow Line, where we do motorsports media your way, talking about NASCAR literally all the time. And today we are talking charters and charter sales. It's no secret that NASCAR and the teams continue to be in a scuffle about the charter agreement. They're both wanting different things. And when Steve O'Donnell said many weeks ago that we are very close to getting a deal done, the teams were pretty surprised by that comment because they don't agree with that comment at all. There are two new reports today from Bob Pockrass and the Sports Business Journal that came out talking about charter sales and the charter agreements between the teams and NASCAR themselves that I want to break down for you all so we can talk about where things stand. According to the Sports Business Journal, the teams are looking for 4 key things in this charter agreement. They want 45% of traditional media revenue, permanent charters, 33% of new revenue, and they want greater governance powers. With NASCAR, though, the biggest contention piece, at least from what we're seeing from the outside looking in, is that permanent charter situation. NASCAR doesn't want that. They want a 7-year renewal charter system. And the teams don't want that renewal. They want something very permanent, which is understandable. Something that was new in these articles today was the idea that the France family would want to buy into a NASCAR team. This is most likely going to get struck down in a final agreement, but NASCAR toyed around with the idea of changing a clause in that charter agreement to allow the Frances to buy into a team if they would like. Of course, there are strict regulations around who can buy into the team from the France family and what that would look like. But again, there is some uneasiness with this, and rightfully so. If we haven't learned anything from the Penske and IndyCar situation, debacle, whatever you want to call it, it is very risky and causes a lot of apprehension when the guy who owns the series also owns a team. And when bad situations happen, it hurts the integrity of the sport. And I think I want NASCAR, and I think a lot of us could agree, to stay far away from a situation just like that. So there are some brief updates there. Of course, we're getting comments from drivers left and right about this. Denny Hamlin, though, has been the most vocal. He said, quote, "It's just a tough situation. Every team does want a little different things here and there." He also went on to say, "This is such an important thing. We've had 11 teams go out of business since 2016. That's not good." And it's not good at all. What's kind of tricky about this is NASCAR wants one thing, the teams want another, and to have a mutually beneficial agreement, both sides are going to have to sacrifice things they don't want to sacrifice, and that's where we are at the impasse. And from the outside looking in, it seems like it's going to take a very long time to get to an agreement. However, we know that time is running out. According to the Sports Business Journal, though, sources say that it's possible that some teams can sign an offer from NASCAR in the coming months after getting greater assurances from NASCAR about the charters. One of the people said NASCAR would like to have deals signed by mid-June. So there's a brief update on the charter negotiations and how those are going. Again, it's a little rough, but we could have a resolution to this all by mid-June. We also know that these agreements keep getting pushed back farther and farther and farther, and we are running out of time. But mid-June looks to be a potential deadline for where things could be agreed upon between NASCAR and the teams. In terms of charter sales, we have an update from Bob Pockrass on that. SHR has yet to renew their agreement with Ford, and apparently they have given information to a potential buyer on what it would take to buy one of their charters. In terms of who could be buying one of those charters, the team that comes to mind right off the bat is Trackhouse Racing, because you have Zane Smith in the pipeline, you have SVG in the pipeline, and they don't have a place to put them on their main team right now. So that for me is the team that is in most dire need of a charter. Other teams that I've talked about expanding, of course, 2311, RFK, Brad Keselowski mentioned the potential to expand, but now might not be the right time. Legacy Motor Club is another team that could also potentially expand, but as we're getting into kind of silly season for the 2025 season, we already know that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. re-signed with JTG Doherty for a multi-year deal, so that domino has fallen. And with all this charter talk and teams maybe selling charters and everything in between, I feel like 2025 could potentially be pretty wild in terms of silly season news. I'm curious what you all think about this. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, when we have any updates on the charters, silly season, and anything in between, you can find them at tobychristie.com.